What's going on, man? I'm just getting stuff set up here. Changing up some of my backgrounds. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I figured I would just hop on here before I head off to work and we can look at what's happening live. I just posted a video about this that I didn't get to do last night because we had a power outage. But AMC currently sitting at about 52 bucks. A little bit disappointing, I must say. Let me update this other stream here. It'd be nice if I could just have all of this happen at one time, one place, but I can't. It doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. There we go. Send it. Bam. All right. Consider it sent. So here we go, man. Wednesday morning. It is 8:30 Eastern. And the pre-market is gross. Getting attacked already early in the morning. AMC down 5.5, which is gross. I woke up and I watched some of the other videos that were up, seeing what people are thinking. Everyone's optimistic, as always, with AMC. Everyone's optimistic. And I'm going to put out just a little bit of optimism as well in the fact that when we have seen dips in the pre-market, we generally do see them gap back up during the day. It's usually pretty early, so keep that in mind. We do see some of these. This was the big day, right? 77 down. Prior to that, AMC doesn't like to run in the after hours. It's just not interested in doing it. Rarely does it do this. 47 to, I think that opened at like 52 or something. It just rather would go down. And then it usually eats it up going into the bell. And then we get a spike and then we get a sell off. That happens almost every single day. So that's where we're at. We're hoping this spike will be a little bit back into the 55 range. That's where I'm shooting for here. But what else is going on around the market? A lot is going down. And I wanted to talk about that because when you read the comments, they're like, it's just a distraction. Look, you have no idea what these market makers are doing with their money or their decisions. You have zero idea. You're just guessing and you're saying what makes you feel better. And that's okay. It's okay. There are people all around you right now who just made a ridiculous amount of money in other stocks and you're holding AMC. It's fine. If you want to hold AMC till it hits 100 or 250 or 1,000, that's great. But don't just ignore the fact that stocks do this. $3 to $18. Stocks do this almost every day. There's this one's having a hell of a run. AHT, one of my viewers yesterday put me on to AHT for call options. They are doing phenomenal right now. Obviously, everyone is very aware that Clover is running, which is crazy. Clover short interest was pretty high. All of these stocks, short interest is higher than AMC. The overall amount of shares might not be as high that are shorted, but the percentage in relation to the free float is much higher. So Clover is on a tear. And we should have known that it would continue up yesterday when it just kind of sat here and held that $20, $21 mark. Yeah, we should have known that it would go up another 20%. I mean, just follow the line. It's going to have a pullback and it's going to be ugly. But in the meantime, tendies are printing. Outside of that, freaking Wish, dude. I don't even follow Wish, but I've seen it do this. I've seen gains on Wish before. Right here, look, we've seen it happen. It's not an unusual occurrence that it goes up, but that's really high. That's super high on Wish. So we'll see if that holds. I mean, you're talking 80% gain in 24 hours, which is crazy. It's not common. And look at the buying pressure. I mean, just solid up. So crazy. We'll see if that ends up falling pretty hard. Another one that was on his list there was Oh, space. Space is way up. For Virgin Galactic, it's up there. There's another one in the pre-market, SPI Energy, that also went from 6 to what, $11. It's a hell of a run. It's a 100% run. Not all of these are going to have options plays. If you're interested in playing something high risk, high reward, there are options on some of them. So keep that in mind, man. Look at clean. Look at clean energy. Clean energy, 28%. One of the guys, who was I following? Was it Lucid that bought that? Someone on my that follows me here definitely bought some clean energy. So also props to you for loading up on maybe some calls with that, because bam. And I've seen clean energy run too. This isn't the first time either, but also hella move at 1632, currently at 12. So clean's one to watch. And clean has some good options as well that are not that expensive, especially if it goes back to 16. These could be in the dollar range or less for some YOLO options plays, and that would be a day trade. Jesus, that would be something you get in and out of. So that's where we're at this morning, going into the market day. We're hoping that AMC definitely gets its shit together. What's up, Denny Oliver? Nice to see you join the stream, buddy. I'm not going to be here too long because I do actually have to go into work, and I will re-kick off the streams from the office. But I was sitting here this morning thinking I'm just not ready to go to work yet. And I'd like to talk about what's happening because it's still early. I don't know what your position is, Denny, but I'm glad you joined. And I'm talking about everything around AMC as well that's happening, because if you've watched any of my other videos, yeah, I'm talking to you, buddy. You right there in the chat. Look, man, I don't get a whole lot of people when I first start. It takes a while for my channels to build some momentum. But thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. I'm talking about what's going on in the stock market right now. Dude, 7,650 shares of what? You got AMC, you got Clover, you got, what do you got? That's a freaking lot of shares, bro. You done stacked and loaded. It's very nice. Very nice to see. I actually have a bunch of 30 options contracts on AMC and some shares, and my options are bleeding out. So we're looking to see this. I think AMC will definitely probably push to the bell back at least $53, maybe 54, 55. That's probably where it'll end up. Like I said, it tends to do this in the pre-market. But we'll see. I mean, the higher highs, the higher lows, I get that. There you go. Yeah, I'm always tracking them too. I like watching the thing. I like Trey. I like Trey for his personality and his enthusiasm. I do like that about it. I have my own opinions as to how I feel about, I don't know, the mega push. I like Kevin's conservatism. I like how he's a little bit more conservative on the stock market and doesn't, put all in positions on stuff. So I like that. Matt Kors, I've been listening to a lot lately as well, and he's actually kind of getting I'm kind of getting on the wrong end of Matt Kors. I got to be honest. There's things about like listening to him that does. Yeah, where's Melissa CNBC? I don't know, man. Where's Elon Musk? Elon Musk, I said this, needs to tweet some movie tickets and a popcorn emoji, and that's it. We gone. Look, Jim Cramer's all over it. I watched this little segment on Mad Money yesterday, and as many people that hate Jim Cramer, he's for the movement, the Reddit movement, which I don't even think all of these are Reddit inspired. I think some of it's Reddit inspired. Naked shorts, look, we obviously know that something's going on. My problem with the battle that is being fought is that it's a very unfair battle. If you're going to go to war with somebody, you can't every single day tell that person exactly where you're going to put all your soldiers. And that's what the AMC crowd does. Unfortunately, yeah, we want to expose what's happening. It's not going to change what's happening. I think that's been the sentiment among we'll say the veterans in the stock world, in the stock market, the people that have been doing this for 30 or 40 years that know that companies do this, that they get shorted, and they get shorted with borrowed shares and shares that they don't even own, and the failure to deliver. And the problem is that there's no recourse against them. And maybe bringing it to light is the first step, but every day they know exactly what the apes are going to do to AMC every single day. And they know exactly where you're at. And they also have all of your trade data before the trade happens, right? We know this. So you go and push your buy button or your sell button or whatever it is that you're doing, and they get that information before it even executes. So they're a step ahead constantly. The only thing that's helping AMC, I think, is the fact that there's a lot of people who are not selling their position, and they are just holding it even when it does hit some pretty ridiculous milestones. And I think that is helping because they are covering positions. Make no mistake about it. Shorts are covering, whether they're naked shorts or regular shorts, it doesn't matter. They're covering it. The problem is that they're just re-shorting the position. That's the problem, right? So we can continue this trend until it does hit $100. And it's just going to be a much slower climb. Unless we can get into another gamma squeeze, I think the short squeeze is going to be just a super slow, painful process. I don't think it's ever going to go straight up. Now, with the other stocks that we're watching around us, we're seeing mad covers, which are still not even, keep in mind, you get something like Clover or Wish or Space or any of these other ones that are heavily shorted that are moving up drastically in the in 1 day or 2 day interim. That is actually probably a pretty large position being covered. It doesn't have to be a large amount of shares. It's just a large percentage of their overall float. And what hurts AMC, what's killing AMC to do this, is the 500 million shares available. That's a crap ton of shares. So if they recycle 20 million at a time, and that's pretty much what I've seen happening, is that they're covering short positions. Like we see these big these big green candlesticks, like here yesterday, and yeah, Wish on Hype Day Trade, damn right. We see these spikes, like yesterday, boom, it goes up to hit $60, and it hits this one other day, it hits 68. Those are for certain covers. It might not be something that is data that we can see, because like I said, it could be a naked position or something that's just traded off the books. But one thing that we can be damn sure they're doing is shorting AMC into the dirt. It's just they're borrowing it at a higher position. They're no longer taking out short positions at $10 and $12 and $20. It's just continuing to go up. So we do see the fight back, which is impressive that it gets bought back. And at some point, they're doing the same thing we're doing. Right? If you're adding to your position right now, which I do see in the comments all the time across all the guys who are streaming, we're buying more, we're loading up, I'm adding 10 shares, I'm adding 100 shares, I'm spending $2,000, whatever it is, we constantly see that. And so what you're doing is you're averaging up your position. And what the shorts are doing is they are averaging up their position. Oh, awesome, dude. That is amazing, Denny. I'm getting there. Look, I made a bunch last on the run up on some options plays. I wasn't holding shares. It's just too risky for me. And honestly, it's funny that I even say that because I YOLO'd a bunch of 145 calls that expire this Friday, and they bled out all of my profits. So I'm really hoping that AMC does make at least a move back into the 70s. And it's not looking bullish to that sentiment right now. And a lot of that does have to do with GameStop earnings today, probably. As much as you would like to believe that you're a part of a community that's going to diamond hand this to the forever, you're not. People are going to sell because we want to make money. Now, if you have if you're in at 376 with 7,000 shares, that is I believe it, buddy. If you got 7,000 shares and an average of 376, you can diamond hand it. You can be one of the guys out there who can just hold AMC until it hits 100, or if it hits 40, or if it hits 30, because you're still looking phenomenal in the position. But there's a lot of people out there that are just buying into this stock in the 30s, the 40s, hell, the 50s. People are probably definitely bag holding in the 60s. And they're not going to hold on to that position when they see something like Clover or Wish or something else around them that spikes. We're going to have to take that money out, take the loss, and go get it back. That's what people are going to do, which is why I think that this run-up is going to be much slower than we would like it to be. And that does kind of suck. I mean, watch the RSI kind of climb up. But look, that's what's happening. You've been holding for brothers, man. Yeah, man. Look, a lot of people have been holding for months. I don't think a lot of people have been holding 7,000 shares for months. That's still a stout investment. What's that, 20 grand? 7,000, $3. I mean, probably close to like 26 grand, something like that. And then you turn that into, a 6-figure account. And that's very possible that it held on that way. And there's a lot of other stocks that can do this. There's tons of them, and a lot of them do it every day. AMC is not the only thing going to space. What's up, Leland? Nice to see you join the chat. We're talking about AMC a little bit, and if you just joined in, I've talked about some of the other stuff around AMC that's happening. Yeah, SPY, no kidding. Yeah, I listen to some guys that do trade the SPY up and down. I do. I saw them. They're more conservative, I would say, slow gain investors, and that's cool. I mean, look, something for everybody out there, and there's definitely nothing wrong with that. The slower growers there's nothing wrong with that, dude. I'd probably be in a much better financial spot if I stopped making YOLO bets. But I like the ride. It's just part of the game. I like the ride of it. I like the let's take a risk and see what happens. And sometimes you win out and sometimes you don't. That's just the nature of the game. But if you're joining this here and you're jumping on to talk about what's going on with AMC, I like to be fairly realistic, because people talk about this stock as if it has to do something. And that's what frustrates me. The stock does not have to do anything. If it hits $55, it does not have to go to 70. If it hits 50, it doesn't have to go to 30. It can just trade at $55. Doesn't have to move. Neo, I watched Neo earlier last year go up, down, up, down. I like the cars. The cars are neat. Neo's an interesting, I don't know. I don't get behind it because it's not something that's in our market. And that's not as enticing for me. And as an EV owner, I do own a Tesla myself. I like the EV plays, and I get a little frustrated with the volatility of the EV market, especially when it comes to just a lot of what's happening in the EV space is so speculative that it's frustrating, right? These companies aren't really, aside from Tesla, nobody's making a crap ton of electric vehicles. Tesla is the only one producing a boatload of electric vehicles. Everyone else is trying to make electric vehicles, and they've made some, Xpeng and Neo and, this Arcimoto and freaking Nikola. All of these other EV companies are making, very small amounts of cars. Hell, Nikola hasn't made anything. Let's put that out there. So keep that in mind. Oh, Clover is Clover. Dude, Clover is like that pimple on your back that's so damn big and it hurts so bad. And then once it explodes, it feels so good. That's what's about to happen with Clover. Clover is it's up there, man. Yeah, Lordstown, CCIV, all of these. Look, man, freaking Kevin put out that Lordstown video yesterday, talked about it, and he was like, stay far away from Lordstown. Lordstown might not have enough money to make it through the year. Um, these are longer term plays. CCIV, I just followed the stock. I didn't follow what they were doing with it, but they had some run ups. They definitely had some run ups. I thought Clover might actually fall yesterday up until the point where it just kind of held on to that $20 mark. And I day traded Clover yesterday and made a couple $100 off of Clover. And a couple of my other followers here ran options on Clover, bought $22 strikes. So, and they sold them yesterday. If they'd have held them today, dude, that'd be deep in the money. They'd be looking pretty good. I bought some $5 strikes on this AHT, and that was just honestly, that I'll be completely honest, completely blind trade. Someone jumped on my chat and was like, AHT calls, it's about to go. And I was like, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, they're like 80 cents, $80. All right, give me a couple of those. Did no research at all. I'll be completely honest. I was like, all right, well, I looked at the chart. I did this. This was my play yesterday. I looked at it. I was like, it's a big drop. It's like 5 something. All right. Yeah, the AMC discipline is pretty severe. You're right. It is but I'll say this. I'll say this about the stubborn diamond hands people. And this is where the AMC movement gets me I'm torn between both sides. Right? If you're sitting there, Denny, holding 7,000 plus shares of AMC with an average of under $4, it's for you having a swing of $10 isn't really that big a deal. I mean, it's big money. Don't get me wrong. Your account's fluctuating a lot, but you're up so much that's not that you can wait. You can wait it out and see if it does hit $80 or $90. I think there's that. I think there's a good bit of you out there that are doing that have a below $10 average that are still sitting pretty good. Then you have people who are in the comments and even commenting on other videos, Matt Kors, Trey's Trades, Andrew Mo Money, the guys who have been doing the AMC for a while. And there's guys that are going to say, I'm going to hold this forever. Never selling. Dude, that dude's probably got 2 shares of AMC. Right? Like, he just has it. TD, I have a TD account. I don't use it very often, but I do have one. I actually trade with TD Ameritrade, WEBULL, Robinhood, and Cash App. I trade with all of them, and for various reasons, across the board. I have a couple videos about why I use all of the platforms and what I use them for. TD Ameritrade, I use that one, and I find it's just harder. It's harder to use. The platforms, the user interface is not ideal. I think it's like, it reminds me of something from like the early 2000s, right? Pulling up the options chain and having to type it all in there and make your trade. It actually takes you longer to make a single trade in TD Ameritrade than any other brokerage I've used, just because you have to go through all the steps. Like, I can go on WEBULL and say, all right, I want to buy right here, buy at 53 or sell. I can make this position rather quickly. And if you're playing in a volatile stock, that makes a huge difference. So the one thing that I don't like about WEBULL is they don't give you instant access to your money unless you wire it, which costs you money to wire it into WEBULL. Then you can get it pretty quick. And the options chain does not update as fast as Robinhood. So, and Robinhood, their customer service, I mean, I have not had an issue with Robinhood customer service. I'll be honest. I've had no problems with Robinhood. I am aware that other people do have issues with Robinhood and what went down with it and all that stuff. And believe me, when everything went down with the GameStop thing, everyone was affected by it, not just Robinhooders. I mean, Cash App was affected, TD Ameritrade, Webull, everyone was affected. It was just more, I think the people who trade on Robinhood just, they get a little bit more Karened up. Let's be honest. You guys turn into Karens because you're not aware. So that happens. But I like Robinhood for its options user interface. I've said this a bunch. Yeah, Robinhood will call you. I did a tech support thing because I bought some options and I was on my sell side, they weren't showing up. Yeah, Cash App's terrible. Believe me, Cash App's absolutely atrocious. But Robinhood, my options weren't showing up when I could sell them. It showed up on my account, but I couldn't see them, so I was curious as to why that was, and I actually put in a support ticket. They called me within about 45 minutes, which isn't crazy. Unless I really needed to sell them. It wouldn't let me sell. I don't know. It was just a delay. I like Cash App for quick day trades, easy access to money. I say this, I wasn't using Cash App much prior to them putting in the limit addition. So now Cash App has limit buys and sells. What I didn't like about Cash App is when you submit a buy or sell order, it's not in look, if the stock's at 52.45 right now and I buy it on Cash App, I'm probably going to pay 52.50. I'm going to pay a bid-ask spread that I don't want to pay. The same when you sell it. But now that they put in the limit buys and sells, you're going to more or less get that number. So I do like that. Because otherwise you had to watch Cash App like a hawk. But you can also put money directly into your account like instantly, and you can withdraw it instantly. So that's cool. I love that about Cash App. If you just want to get your feet wet, you can buy fractionals. Cash App's a good entry to the stock market for a lot of people. So I don't shit on it. They all have a place. And like I said, Robinhood, I use Robinhood mainly to follow the options chain because they seem to update in real time, whereas Webull is kind of behind. When I first got on Webull and was buying options with Webull, I was submitting orders and they would never fill. They were always 5 cents behind, 10 cents behind because the options chain on Webull was just a little bit lagging. And then when I look at the options chain, the same chain on Robinhood, I would say, all right, well, why is it's $2 here, but on Webull, it's $1.80, but it's just not going up. So I noticed that on some of the more volatile trades. You're right. You're right. Those heavy, thick accents, boy. They'll come and get you. So I like using all the platforms. I use all of them. I do. I have Crypto and Voyager and freaking KuCoin and all these other apps, man. Look, you got money spread across the world at this point, but it is what it is. Look, I try to be realistic about what's going on in the market, and I tell people straight up, boy, I'm a YOLO kind of dude. I like it. I need to be more disciplined, and I will. I'm still just kind of having fun with it. But that's where I'm at with AMC. I YOLO'd some stuff. I'm hurting. AHT is going to probably make me today. It probably make me $1,000 off a $250 investment, which was awesome. And that's a cheap call. If you're looking to get into some cheap options, there's a lot of them out there. I'm self-employed, Denny. I run own a custom fabrication shop that I'm going to be exiting that business this year because, like you, I'm burned out. But I manufacture custom motorcycle parts. I've done that for 17 years now. And then I also run TMF Apparel USA, which is a custom apparel company. I print shirts like the one I'm wearing now, print all kinds of different t-shirts, sell on Etsy, Amazon, my website. So I do that as well. And then YouTube, I've ran this channel that you're watching me on. Used to be exclusively a King and the Sting Clips channel, and I've migrated away from that. But I do like 3 different podcasts that I'm working on this year. So I'm trying to make some transitions into some other things. I'm going to do t-shirts. T-shirts was kind of a play with the pandemic because my main business, I didn't really know how that was going to survive the pandemic epidemic that we had. So I started printing t-shirts. Look, man, everyone wears a t-shirt, and most people have more than one. Even homeless dude got a t-shirt on most of the time. So I ran with that. And the t-shirt business has been it's been all right. Stressful. AHT, buddy, there's my man Gonzalez. Dude, I'm still holding those calls, man. I wish I bought more. I was just talking about that. Dude, I'll be honest with you. I've been watching the stock market for the last like 2 or 3 weeks, and there are days where I've been to work and I have done no actual work from 9:30 to 4. So I've just been like, I cannot walk away from what's happening. You just want to watch it, you know? You just want to sit here and stare at the screen because it's captivating. And I talked about this with one of my other guys on here. What's up, Jess? Sorry, I'm streaming on 2 channels, so I'm trying to keep up with the chat on both of them. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you, Jess Wilson. I got a little alert box, and I can hit this thing over here, which is kind of cool. Where's it at? Bam! Look at that. Boom! I don't know. I'm planning to play with it, but yeah, man. Share my channel. Most of the time during the day, honestly, my channel's pretty boring. I do stream it and I pop in and out because I'm either printing shirts or I've got to go work in the back. But I still like to talk about it. We have fun. Look, man, I'm not out here telling you it's going to space. I'm just telling you what I'm watching and what I think about it. I think there's a lot of hype stocks, and unfortunately, I think there's a lot of people who just tell you the same thing all day, which is boring and almost misinformative. So, how you doing, Jess? But today is a better day. I can't sit here. I'm going to have to end the stream and then restart it because I usually kick this sucker off from work. So I got to do that. I also have the little dog getting dropped off. Be babysitting the little guy again today. And but it will kick back on. But yeah, if you want to give us a subscription, that's cool. I do it every day. And then I usually go back on and do some more. Dude, Jess. Did you buy into AEMD, or are you just looking at it from from the standpoint of what the F happened? Look at it go. It's at 300%. That's fucking crazy, man. Look, man, I like to watch them. I don't always jump into something like that. That's high as shit. It's $9, but it did touch 18, so it could run another 100% from where it's at. I like seeing it. It's cool to see. You always wish that you could be a part of something like that, you know? Thank you, Denny. Thank you. You too, man. It'd be crazy to be a part of something that goes up 400%. Dude, we all missed it. First of all, look at it. Who would buy this for whatever reason? It's always a medical stock, too. It's always some nano medical bullshit that goes up 7,000%. I've seen as high. The highest I've seen in a day is 13%, 1,300%. I've seen a stock hit 1,300% before. Bye, Denny. Thanks for stopping by. And you just got to think, like, what the F? Look at Clove. Clove is very impressive. Clove's going to have a dip. I would expect Clove to come back to probably $22 and fill the gap. But look, man, we don't know. This is insider trading is where it's at. Where's the insiders? I feel like we should have more insider trading in today's world. You can just text it to somebody. You can just fucking send them a text. Hey, buy this shit. And then up it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like as in pre-text message, immediate gratification, communication across the world days, insider trading would be a lot more difficult. I feel like it happens all the time. All the time. But also think about people who might work for this company and have stock in it just because they work there. They just made freaking tendies. But there's no options on it, so you know, is what it is. But this is pretty wild. AMC is just struggling to get back up and just regain its position from yesterday, which is a bummer. So going into it, I think AMC will get back to 55 today. hopefully it just, if it honestly, the worst thing that AMC can do, the worst thing it can do is trade sideways, because the options are, there's so many contracts out there between probably $50 and $60. The worst thing it can do is do nothing. And because every time it does this, it just murders my contracts. And if it's murdering mine, it's murdering everybody's. So maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's the hedge fund plan. Look, we don't need it to go up. We don't need it to go down. We need it to just entice you to buy. And then we need it to just stay right there. Feel like that is also very possible. What in the F is this nonsense? Someone tagged me in some ridiculous Facebook spam post. Great. Fantastic. But yep, I think I'm gonna have to end this one. I've got a short drive to work, and then I will re-kick that bad boy off. So we will rejoin the stream. Jess, I look forward to seeing you here. It is, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing you in the least bit on the higher highs, higher lows. It's just they're small. You know, that's all. It's a small movement. And if you're a hodler of just AMC stock position, then it's very good for you. But if you are an options trader, this is the absolute worst week you've had, hands down. It's the worst week you could have ever had if you're an options trader, because unless you bought like an iron condor or something, you bought a spread that you just bet it goes sideways. This is devastating. I mean, my account blown out 90% on options down over this. So I get it. Higher highs, higher lows, and I'm staying optimistic overall. Unfortunately for me, there's not enough time on my contracts, and they're not worth enough for me to do anything with them. Maybe I could roll them out. I haven't even looked. I should probably look at what the options is for next week, and maybe I could roll them out into something. Nope, look at that. Even the 145s for next week are $2.59 right now, whereas today there's 65 cents for this week. So I would lose a good bit of my I mean, I wouldn't even be able to make any of that back rolling that out. So, but I do agree. It is kind of it's still an upward trend. It's just we would like it to follow this trend line and not this trend line. You know, like that's just where it's at. So unfortunately, for some people, AMC is making sense, and for others it's just destroying them. And I honestly do believe, and I'm gonna 3 minutes, I got to get up out of here, I'm gonna be late to the bell. I honestly do believe that this is very intentional based on the options market. We are sitting here telling you exactly what we're doing. Hey, we're loading them up, they can see it. Well, what would be worse than the stop dropping to $40? What would be worse than that? It going down 3% and just sitting there, because it's not enough to make puts worth anything, and it's going to destroy calls. And every time they do this up and down, it just murders call options. The gamma the Greeks just kill the call option. So right now that seems to be a bigger play. They're out here selling a crap load of options contracts, getting the premiums for the contracts, and then they expire damn near worthless. It's just part of being at war with somebody who knows exactly where all of your soldiers are. So keep that in mind. But I'm going to end this one, and I got to hit the road, and I will be back for the opening bell because I'm about a 15-minute drive away. So I will catch you guys on the other side of this. But thanks for stopping by, and good luck in the meantime.